So we're about, I don't know, 30 seconds behind. So if people say things and like say stuff like, hi, how's it going? Doing all right? Good to see you, brother. Alrighty. See, that's about, we're getting like a 30-second delay. So that's what
Would
I'm
you care for an Angry Orchard?
Oh no, I've got my, this drink here. It's the drink of champions.
It's really close to election day and I need to drink.
You do need to drink quite a bit. I can tell. The Hammer is watching.
The Hammer?
Hammer's watching.
Bam. Product placement.
That's right. Boom. Oh, and blender bottle. This this political discussion is brought to you by Blender Bottle. Blender Bottle. What? Oh. Alright. We got some things to chat about. I'm surprised that you better do a little bit of quick study on this vote swap thing.
Daniel, is this a bottle opener?
Yes, it is, and you may use it. It is many things.
It looks like it's many things.
It is. Your bottle opener is the wide part.
Oh.
Yeah. You can do this.
I might look like a total idiot.
This is gonna be amazing.
Don't judge me, Internet.
Internet, judge Timothy. Judge Timothy. He's opening a bottle.
And I don't know how. I don't know how.
No, he's going for it. You want a hand? Oh, you need a hand.
Open this.
That's okay. It's not easy. This thing does not make it easy.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't. It's not a very. It is a bottle opener, which is probably to its merit, because it talks about the downfalls of drinking. This says twist open. I'm just kidding. This is very. This is not a good bottle opener. This is not a good bottle opener. I use the table. Is that alright? Oh no, I don't want to hurt your table. Is that okay?
Fuck the table.
Alright. There you go.
There we go.
That's how you do it, folks.
Live. That's how you
Live. That's how you do it. You want to use a table. You want to hurt a table and open a bottle at the same time. That's how you do it.
This table was bought from the magical land of IKEA.
Ooh, it's Swedish.
Swedish.
Oh, we're getting. I see. Okay, there we go. We're good. You're really fuzzy. We're really fuzzy right now. Are we really fuzzy to you guys?
Are we eating up the man with? Is that
No,
what's
look.
going on? We are fuzzy.
I think it's your. I don't know.
Let me make sure that the thing works.
Make sure you're on Wi-Fi too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should be.
Why don't you double check and make sure? This is all the. You know, the little things. Oh well, last time you used your computer, didn't you?
No, I used.
All right.
I fucked.
Yep, this is us trying to. Oh! Looks like it. I wonder if it's the. Okay, I wonder if it's. Okay, we're getting better now. Maybe we should kill that light or move that light. Can we move the light over there and plug it in? Because I think that might be making things fuzzy. Maybe.
If it goes fuzzy again, let me know.
Okay, it looks good right now. It's looking clean.
All right.
Okay. Someone wrote. Did you write fuzzy again?
It was me.
Oh, is Keith on?
He might be. He said he was gonna.
Keith is on the. Keith has taken over the horizontal and the vertical. All right. Alrighty. So I think we should probably
Start this thing?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I gotta start that.
It looks like it's better now. Am I wrong here? I'm trying to look at this. It looks like it's better on my phone. I am watching us on a 30-second delay, and it's very confusing, but I think we're good.
Okay. Alright.
I think we're better now.
Let's not do that.
Let's never do that ever again. Alright.
Oh yeah, it looks pretty good.
I think it looks good. Are we better? Yeah?
Yeah, we're
Hey,
good.
you're watching. How about that?
I'm watching me from 15 seconds ago.
Wow. Our
Yeah.
ways are so quaint, those past people. I feel like I'm from the future.
Oh, you can see my Star Wars pajama pants. That's fine. Whatever.
That's fine. It looks good. It looks good.
Yeah.
All right.
Star Wars.
All right. So we should probably get into this, I guess.
All right, yeah, let's do this thing.
All righty. Cool.
So, hi and welcome to Speaking from the Center. This is our third and final live episode before the election because we don't
want to do it anymore.
No.
We don't want to do politics anymore. It hurts.
It hurts us.
It hurts us. I'm gonna move this over to Ted so
that's
we're not face it. All right. So we're gonna talk politics. I would let you host, but screw this noise. We're here, so we might as well just talk.
Yeah.
I'm Daniel Greenwolf, for those who don't know. I'm a magician. I have absolutely no political background, except I've watched every episode of West Wing,
Oh man.
all of House of Cards. I watched Studio 60 on Sunset Strip, but that really has nothing to do with politics. It's just Aaron Sorkin. I watched The American President. I took a
What was
bunch
the
of...
other Aaron? So was that Night Court?
Night Court was not
Night
Aaron
Court?
Sorkin's
No.
show. The one with Harry Anderson and Richard Mole and John
Yeah,
Larroquette.
so, yeah.
That is not. No. His was that Sports Night.
Sports Night.
Sports Night.
Sports Night. I get those two mixed up all the time because they have the same relative name.
Sports Night,
Sports
Night
Night.
Court.
You know, whatever.
I just
Whatever.
okay. But no, my background in politics, aside from knowing people who
Oh, in the newsroom. Don't forget about
and
that.
oh yeah, I watched every episode of the Newsroom. Totally did.
All 15 of them.
Go right to hell. Go right to hell. And I watched Game of Thrones, so that's very political in itself as well. But no, my background, for those who never always know, is that I always had an interest in history, and I've always been somebody who studied a lot and taken a lot of classes when I was in high school and the time that I spent in college, which that fact alone blows people's minds, that I was ever in college at all.
You went to college? What?
I know, for almost 2 years.
Clown College?
Naugatuck Valley,
Oh, okay.
pretty close.
So Clown College would have been better.
It's true. So anyways, yes, I am indeed Daniel Greenwolf. And you, sir?
I'm Tim. I'm one of the regular hosts of the show. I produce the show.
You're the regular host.
I'm the regular host. I do have a political science background. I am a senior at Southern Connecticut State University, where I study political science and history. I ran for mayor of a town once.
He did. He ran for mayor of Shelton, and that did not work out.
Nope.
Because it was rigged. It was rigged.
I'm living proof that writing candidates don't succeed.
It's also, as a note, don't write in your candidate. Don't get into the race about a month before the election.
Yeah, so
That's just an idea.
a month and a half. It's really not that good.
It really is.
And I've been running the show for about 5 years.
Yeah,
Since the last election.
Yes. Oh, since the primaries.
Since the Halcyon days.
Yeah, there were some fun days there. So, folks, we're talking politics. If people have any questions for us, or they have questions they want to ask,
Yeah.
you can ask them right while you're watching live. We will see them.
Comment thread and we will see them.
Yeah, we will see them, and we'll talk about whatever we can. We'll debate whatever you want to debate. If you want, basically some low-life magician trash, and and a guy who's going to be something important as far as history goes.
No, I'm not.
No, okay.
Definitely not. I'm just going to be a teacher.
Okay, well there you go.
Those who can't do teach, Daniel.
But by the way, can I just say how little education has come up in this whole election?
Yeah.
It really hurts.
The only time it really came up was in the Democratic primaries when Bernie Sanders wanted to give everyone.
And that's college education.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's talking about the lower.
Yeah,
I'm saying lower forms of education. I'm going to say the lower like the lower levels of education.
No one's talking about like a First Star program or
Any of that.
or a new like.
How do you
No
help?
Child Left Behind
How do you
thing,
help
yeah.
failing public schools and
Yeah, that's completely left out of the. That's one of the many things that was completely left out of this election was education reform.
I think so many pertinent issues got left out of the election because of all of this bullshit back and forth.
Yeah.
All of this. By the way, we swear. For those who don't know, we use naughty words sometimes.
Oh yeah, this podcast is not safe for work.
Not safe for work. Not safe for.
NSFW.
Or young children. NSFYC. Because if you talk about politics.
LGBTQ.
Oh no, it's safe for them. Oh, it's safe for us, folks. Don't you be worried. Don't you be worried. Now, this should be more of a... Unfortunately, this people are going to be looking for maybe contention between us. Tim and I agree on a lot of things. So really, it's just going to be me yelling at people who aren't here.
Yeah.
Probably. It's going to be a lot of that.
Like Matt.
Like Matt. That was... I really enjoyed that. I liked that. I didn't...
I liked that back and forth from the first one. That was pretty good. And that was on a topic that I was like, yes or no, and then Matt was like, this big long thing, and you're like, hey, but wait.
Yeah.
This big long thing.
You can't just lightning around a question about gay rights, all right? It's very true. But speaking of back and forth, I don't know. All right, I want to get this right off the bat. I've been thinking about this. This has been stewing inside me, and I can't think of a better way to start talking about it.
Should have went to the bathroom before you got here.
Sorry. May I go to the bathroom? Thank you. No. Undecided voters.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to you, America. If you're an undecided voter at this point, stay home. I don't want you voting. I don't want them voting. They don't deserve to vote.
Daniel, I have something to admit to you.
You're bullshit. You're undecided. Bullshit. You're undecided. There's no way you're undecided. Give me 3 valid reasons why you're an undecided voter.
Okay. One, I was a Bernie Sanders supporter during the primaries.
That doesn't give you a valid reason to be undecided.
And I'm not particularly fond of Hillary Clinton.
Not particularly fond. That's barely. I know people like.
All right. I do not agree with Hillary Clinton on so many issues that it makes me question whether I actually want to vote for her.
What issues do you disagree with her on?
Foreign policy.
In what sense?
I think that she's way too hawkish for a Democrat. I think that her nation-building policy, along with I didn't like the whole Obama administration's plan for the Middle East.
Nobody's had a good plan for the Middle East in 30 years.
I'm saying that the Obama administration didn't really change anything from the Bush administration, and I didn't like that either.
Yeah.
So the whole drone strikes thing, I'm not a fan of. My phone is still not muted.
Muted, that's going to be awkward.
And I'm not a huge fan of the way Iraq and Afghanistan were handled. I don't like the way Libya was handled.
None of these things I disagree with you on, but the point is that, you don't like the way they're handled. What do you think Trump will do better in handling those situations?
Oh, I don't think Trump will do anything better. I'm not voting for Trump at all.
Oh, so it's between what, Gary Johnson and Hillary Clinton for you?
Actually, it's between Evan McMullin and Hillary Clinton for me. So the thing that I told people not to do before about the write-in candidates, I might do that.
Fuck you. I'm gonna flip write-in candidate. All right. So aside from foreign policy, which I understand, I get it. You're not a fan of it.
I'm gonna turn my phone off.
What? We got people who are saying they're gonna be. Yeah, you need to put that down.
There we go. We're back.
All right, looks like
we're back, baby.
And we are back.
We're back. Okay.
All right. So we're back. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, fuck you.
All right. So I was defending myself for a minute.
Defending yourself. So you're still defending yourself. So now, second reason why you're okay. Second reason. What else do you not? Like I said, what else do you not like about Hillary Clinton?
I don't like her stance on campaign finance reform. In fact, I don't like the Democrats' stance on campaign finance reform.
What's your opinion on campaign? What is your opinion?
They are, quote, against it, but they're not actually against it because they still take super PAC money and all that nonsense.
So your problem is that they're working within a system that is currently broken.
Yes.
And you don't think they're going to do anything to fix it. What is this other party? I don't even know that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know this other person.
Okay, Evan McMullin is.
What's his party?
He's a former Republican.
What's his party?
He doesn't have a party. He's an independent.
Oh, so that's great.
He's completely running on an independent platform. He is a former CIA. He's a former spy.
Okay.
But he's a conservative who doesn't have a terrible platform, who I agree with a lot because he's for a lot of reforms that I like.
Like what?
He's pro.
You're going to be able to tell people, because there's people, we've got 6 people watching right now. You can tell all about Evan McMullin.
Yeah.
In fact, this is going to be more people than know about Evan McMullin right now, so go ahead.
He is pro-transparency in government.
Okay.
Which is something that Hillary is definitely not pro.
Incorrect. I don't believe that's the case.
I
don't.
Hillary is far too secretive. Far too secretive.
I don't believe so. And here's the reason why I don't believe so. Does she keep secrets? Absolutely. As we have seen time and time again, when those secrets come to light, as they are, it's much ado about fucking nothing. There's stuff we don't need to... I don't give a crap about what she says I don't care what their campaign says about trading back and forth.
Right.
I don't care about that. All right? I'm gonna get into all of that stuff, the emails and all the bullshit the FBI pulled. Because are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, that was some nonsense.
That was some heavy bullshit. But okay, so I believe that they are for transparency. I believe that getting transparency in the political arena is like closing Guantanamo Bay.
Right.
I really do. In that it's not. By the way, you folks realize that the reason that Guantanamo Bay is closed really does not have much to do with the president. Do people understand this?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's
It's
mostly,
an international issue.
Well, it's Congress.
Yeah.
It's also they don't know where to put those people, so they're just sort of Guantanamo is like American prison limbo.
Yeah.
You have nowhere to go.
Absolutely. It's really it's an issue that spans two countries and Congress, which is already like 100 nations in themselves.
Yeah, the Guantanamo Bay is definitely not something that the president has power alone over.
Yeah.
Mostly because of Congress, and mostly because here's the problem: is Congress doesn't want those people in America.
Yeah. I'm gonna close this door
Okay.
because I guess maybe sound will carry a little better too for folks over the thing.
Maybe too quiet.
Well, I guess you're saying, or I guess Sasha was saying she can hear us as well. So hopefully she can hear a little better now.
We should be louder.
Yeah, we're trying our best.
We're loudness.
Normally there's more people here, so the echo isn't.
And there's a funding issue, and there's so many things that go into it. That was actually one of the first things that President Obama tried to do. That was his second executive order, was closing Guantanamo Bay.
It just doesn't. Yeah, and unfortunately, there's some people who don't realize the fact that that's just not the case.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work, and it's you can tell every time he brings up Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
Because he brings it up every year, brings it up a couple times. You can tell he just gets more crestfallen. He just gets more and more. So we're gonna try to close Guantanamo. Damn it!
I believe that's how President Obama feels about every issue he's repeatedly brought up.
Yeah.
Have you seen his slow descent into anger over the gun violence thing?
Oh my God.
Every time he's like, "So we're here again.
Yeah.
I told you people this would happen. You didn't listen to me. Here we are again."
And now, what else? Now, what else about Evan McMullin? Go back to Evan McMullin.
Okay, all right.
What else about him? Because I want to know.
Let's see. What else about
You say
him?
he's conservative. Is he conservative fiscally, or is he conservative socially?
He's a fiscal conservative.
What's his social views?
His social views are, well, he's a Mormon. That's his social views. So he believes in a lot of the Mormon stuff.
Like
His social issues are along the same lines as Mitt Romney was in 2012.
So
He's not pro-gay marriage.
and
He's not pro-gay people.
what about women's right to choose?
I don't remember what his stance on women's right to choose, but I don't think it was pro-Roe v. Wade. Yeah. His social issues are not the best,
So you're voting for a Republican who's not Trump.
basically.
All right, Tim, we're gonna fucking talk. No, we're not gonna talk. Listen, you're right.
Here's my problem. Here's my big problem with Hillary Clinton.
Go ahead.
And it's not the lies. It's not. It's not the email thing.
Because that's bullshit.
Yeah, it's that I am way more than she is, and her policies at the very beginning of the campaign were not something that I liked.
Okay.
Policies on things like education. I know she's very good on education, but she doesn't. At the time, she wanted free colleges, which is not the same as free public colleges.
Yeah.
She wanted to defer interest for a certain amount of time, and she didn't want you to accrue interest for a certain amount of time, but she also didn't want you to be able to, refinance your loans.
Okay.
Which is something that's big for college students, is being able to refinance your loans to a lower rate.
Yeah, but isn't refinancing like trapping you for a longer time?
No, what it is...
It looks like we're good.
We're good?
I think we are.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay, I unplugged it now so it shouldn't get hot again.
Okay, good. All right, so now we're in.
We're in.
live. Hey, we saw Tim's butt. Awesome. All right, great. We're live.
Yay!
All right,
We
so-
saw my ass.
So for those who just joined us, if you have any questions that you want us to discuss about politics, by all means ask us in the chat. We'll talk about them. I was just going to hear about how Tim was wrong for voting for somebody who's anti-woman and anti-gay, and because
I said I might vote for him. I didn't say.
because he doesn't like women or anybody who has a right to choose who they want to be. So no, go ahead, please. Tell me about how a not quite great education plan, which by the way, isn't that, and that's the thing I want to bring up, in the primaries.
Yeah.
Isn't the point of primaries not just the person who's got the best, who's like the best person wins in the primary? Isn't the idea of like the ideas that come out of a primary, that they get absorbed and they get used in the main election, like that's what happened with Hillary. I thought that happened with Obama.
You gotta move the table back.
Where are we going back? Okay, there we go. Good. Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit.
I just want to make sure you're in the shot.
Oh, I thank you. But isn't that part of the thing? Like where you take the ideas that work, and you create a platform that will not just be good for Democrats, be good for the more general people and independents. Like, shouldn't that be the idea behind a primary?
That should be, but it's often not.
Okay, but isn't that the case here? She did morph her stance on education.
Well, that's because the Democratic Party was forced to take up a lot of Sanders' stances because of the amount of delegates that he got.
So why is it a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing.
So
She
then
just
why are you
hasn't-
going to vote for this guy?
Because she hasn't said two words about any of that. It's
She
all-
has said things about that. She said things about that in the debate, although education didn't come up as much. The college thing did come up. I
Right.
was talking about lower forms of education, like high school and
Right,
before
right,
that public
right.
school. But college came up in the debates. And
I mean, I'm just saying that I don't think that Hillary Clinton was the best possible candidate that the Democrats could have put forth.
okay, but are you telling me that because she wasn't the best possible candidate, that she is okay? And we know that you're not voting for Trump. That's fine. I
Right.
get that.
I mean, I did consider Jill Stein for a while. Then I read up on Jill Stein.
Oh, then you just had to look at her talk.
yeah,
Yes.
you know. And to be honest, I was desperately hoping that Bernie Sanders would show up on the Connecticut write-in candidate list
Why?
because I wanted to vote for him.
Even Bernie said, "Don't vote for me." Even Sanders says, "Don't vote for me, vote for Clinton." And there's a very valid reason to vote for Clinton as opposed to voting for Sanders. There's a very valid reason because Sanders can get himself in a very good position of power if Clinton gets in office.
Right, but wouldn't the president be a very good position of power?
Well, let's ask the fucking Senate, shall we? It's not, and there's no possible way. There is no possible way that Bernie Sanders couldn't get enough votes for the primary. So if Bernie Sanders isn't getting enough votes in the general election, who gives a shit if he's a write-in?
Right,
When's the last time a write-in candidate has ever won the presidency?
never.
Never.
I don't think ever.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I would
ever.
have to check, but I don't think ever.
If somebody wants to fact check us, because we're so wrong so often anyway, but I want to know if a write-in candidate has ever won the presidency. We know write-in candidates have lost the presidency for people.
Yes.
Um,
Well, that's third-party candidates, not
not
write-in
write-in.
candidates.
That's what you're right. Write-in candidates have never made an effect at all. So,
Well,
No.
they're not on the national level, but there have been successful write-in candidacies.
my ass is not talking about the lower levels. Which, by the way, everybody, let's say you want to vote for Trump, you want to vote for Hillary, whatever it is. I understand. I think you're wrong, half of you, if you're voting for Trump. But yeah, he did not get enough votes, Amy. He did not. It was not superdelegates that decided Bernie's fate. He did not get enough votes.
I mean, there's a whole thing about
There's a whole big thing about it.
there's-
The bottom line is he was down not by a few hundred votes, not by
Oh, yeah.
1,000 votes. It was
I-
millions.
I will defend Hillary on that. She did not prevent Bernie Sanders from getting the nomination. She prevented Bernie Sanders from getting close to getting the nomination. That's what that whole DNC what's her name thing was all about. Debbie Wasserman Schultz
Yeah.
and the DNC, all those emails. That the only thing the DNC did was support Hillary behind the scenes and prevent Bernie Sanders from getting too close.
Yeah, and as we can tell, based on the Republicans' work behind the scenes and in front, the parties behind the scenes don't have a hell of a lot of effect on the candidates themselves.
Well, I mean, each party has their own way of putting their thumb on the scale.
It's true.
The Democrats have the super delegates and all that nonsense.
But that's all very public.
Yeah, it's all very public, but the way that the primaries are held separately, the Democrats have a proportional, this is the percentage you got, this is the delegates you get, and plus we have super delegates, but you mostly won't have to worry about that. But the Republicans have some winner-take-all states, and they have states where the rules are very ambiguous about who gets what delegates, and certain delegates go to the candidates based on their percentage, and certain delegates just vote for whoever the fuck they want.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, and I'm going to say this again and again and again, I love Bernie Sanders. I wish he was elected. I wish he was put in as our candidate. He wasn't the Democratic candidate. Writing him in is worthless.
Yeah.
It's not only worthless, it's against the man's wishes. Like, that's the other thing I don't get. Caesar has denied the crown, all right? Hi, by the way, sorry, I saw it a while, we just didn't say hi. Hi, Keith, I'm guessing. He wasn't nominated. We're going with the girl, the woman that we got, you know, and I'm saying we in this case because I am indeed voting for Hillary. The reason why I am voting for Hillary is because the only person I had as a hope was Gary Johnson, and then Johnson started speaking.
Oh, God, that man.
And I got into a talk with somebody about libertarianism just the other night at my shindig. We were talking about politics because that's what my parties are about. Politics. No. But we're talking about libertarianism, and I love the concept of libertarianism. But unfortunately, it is a concept on a large scale that will never have to be tested. It will never be tested. It will never be questioned. Because unfortunately, libertarianism doesn't work on a grand scale for many reasons.
No, it doesn't. I mean, the ideas behind it are they're very American, the ideas behind it. The whole idea of individual rights and...
Amy, you just said Johnson is way too right for you. He's pro-life, not your thing. That was an opposite statement.
You mean
he's not, no, she's right. But he's not pro-life.
No.
He's not. He's very much so get the government out of women's vaginas.
Yeah, because he's not, he has some conservative principles, but he's mostly libertarian.
Socially liberal.
Yeah, he's fiscally conservative.
But again, I don't disagree with you. Johnson's not my choice either.
I don't think even Johnson is well.
Amy's saying that he's pro-life. I don't believe that's the case. Maybe that's under his stances. If you want to look up his stances, we are going to check
the magic of the internet.
We're gonna fact check. We're gonna get some facts on here, and maybe you're right. Maybe that is the case.
Let's go to Gary Johnson for president.
Okay, so while you're doing that, Sasha brought up a question.
Okay.
Does anyone think that Trump would be president for long if he's elected? With half the stuff that comes out of his mouth, do you think it would fly as president?
Yes. Can
you imagine if Obama said any of the stuff Trump has? Can you imagine if any of our past presidents compose themselves like Trump does?
That has been everyone's argument for the entire election. Can you imagine if Obama had said those things, or can you imagine if any other candidate said those things? Obviously, there is a completely different standard for Donald Trump.
There is. Because he should never have gotten the Republican nomination. I mean, for God's sakes, Republicans were taken out for far less in previous elections.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Far less than any of the crap that Trump has said or done.
Abortion, okay. Governor Johnson's approach to governing is based on a belief that individuals should be allowed to make their own choices in their personal lives. Abortion is a deeply personal choice.
He's pro-choice. That's off of his platform, right off of his website?
Yep, right off his website, under issues.
He's pro-choice. That's under his own website. I don't believe that he would have a reason to lie about that.
Undermine his own website?
Undermine his own website.
That's a Donald Trump thing, by the way.
That is. Undermine your own website, undermine your own running mates, undermine its things. So you may want to check that again, Amy, and check his website. Although, again, I'm not voting for Johnson either. I can't give you any... You want to talk about foreign policy. Having none is a big thing to me.
What is Aleppo?
What's Aleppo? I don't know. If I could, isn't he a good foreign leader? Aleppo?
Oh, you know what? He's that guy from that show, right? Oh yeah, totally.
All right, so there you go. So Amy's she's looked at the site, so that's fine. Thank you so much. See, this is what we're trying to educate. We're trying to let people know about this.
Yes, we disseminate information.
Thank you. Yo says my hair does look sexy. I thought it was nice today.
All right, so let's move on to some more like general campaign stuff.
So general campaign stuff. But going back, I've got hold on, we're almost done yet. This Evan McMullen gentleman. Right. Okay, so aside from the fact that I know you say you're not sure. Are you? Come on.
Listen. Okay.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, I'm going to be totally honest with you. It doesn't really matter who I vote for.
I know it doesn't matter who you vote for. Which, by the way, so you want to bring this up. I brought up the concept of vote swapping.
Okay. Yeah.
This has been because that's a great look at that segues. We're like pros, people. Like this. Okay, sorry.
And I'm not saying it doesn't matter who I vote for because I don't care about voting. I very much care about voting. But I live in the state of Connecticut where, hold on, let me bring this up. 538.com has Hillary the 99% chance of winning Connecticut.
Man, that would be amazing.
And she's had a 99% chance of winning Connecticut the entire fucking time.
It's true.
She's polling 12 points above Donald Trump right now in Connecticut. There'd have to be an awful lot of people.
Yeah. So this is where vote swapping comes in. People have never, who haven't heard about this, basically, people in contested states are willing to swap their vote with somebody else. So let's say we've got a Trump supporter in I don't know, one of the contested states, PA. What's one of the swing states? My brain can't even blank. Florida, Iowa. Let's say Iowa. So somebody in Iowa. Trades with a friend in Connecticut for a Trump vote.
Oh, I heard of that. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Okay, so someone in Connecticut who's a friend who was going to vote Hillary decides to vote Trump, and somebody who's going to vote Trump decides to vote Hillary in a state that matters.
Right.
Or they weren't sure. Or they're more likely they're going to vote Stein or Johnson.
Right.
So that's more of where it comes to. They will vote Stein or John, one of the third-party candidates. And as opposed to voting for them, they'll vote for Trump or Hillary.
Right.
We should say Trump or Clinton. We got to give her the right. I don't like doing that. Trump or Clinton.
Mrs. Clinton.
Donald or Hillary. So they'll vote for Donald or Hillary as opposed to voting for Johnson or Stein.
Okay.
In exchange, somebody in Connecticut votes for Johnson or Stein.
Okay.
Apparently. Penn Jillette did this. Michael Godot. These are all guys from Penn Sunday School. They all did this. It's not illegal. There's nothing illegal about it.
But it is somewhat questionable.
Is it, though? Because here's the problem. Here's the question I have. Okay? And this is why I'm wondering if it is questionable. Vote swap. First of all, you've got to take people on their word. So you have to take people on their word they're actually doing it. Which, I guess if you're doing it with friends, I guess it doesn't matter that much.
But that's...
And Ken brings up a point. It's about getting the third party the 5% without screwing up the election as a whole.
Right, but that could be used towards nefarious ends. I mean, if you get one of the major political parties to start vote swapping and just to swing a state their way, I mean, that's...
But I mean, isn't that... But I mean, my point is that these are people who are going to vote one way or the other. The only way that it could be nefarious is if someone tricks somebody, like if a massive scale of people trick people.
Alright, so you're talking about a scenario where someone in a swing state and someone in a non-swing state swap votes. So say the swing state is a Republican and
wants to vote Johnson.
And because they're in a swing state and it really matters who they vote for, they swap their vote with someone who's going to vote for Trump.
And so they vote for Trump, and the other guys vote for Johnson.
Right.
So what that does is it still brings up the percentage of votes that get to Johnson to get to that 5%, which is what Ken had brought up.
In a state where the election is not so heavy on who you should vote for.
Exactly. So I guess my question is, obviously it's questionable because it's all honor system at that point.
The questionable part would then be, say, having the reverse happen. So, let's say a Trump supporter in a non-swing state votes, or let's say a Gary Johnson.
It's tough. It's really tough because you've got...
I know what I'm trying to say. Okay, the reverse of that happens.
Yes.
So Gary Johnson builds votes in a swing state as opposed to a non-swing state.
Okay.
and his vote ends up swinging that state in a way that was unintended.
Okay. Well, I think the point with swing votes is to not do that. I think that's what people are doing vote swaps for.
Right. But here's the problem. If a campaign were to get a hold of that idea and use it to their own ends by, say, tricking third-party candidates into putting votes into states that are swing states.
That's pretty tough. That'd be pretty tough to trick. Like, first of all, vote swapping is already a pretty complex idea in itself. So to trick people into vote swapping...
I'm just saying, devil's advocate, if you get enough points in a swing state, let's say it's very close.
Michael Sheridan's asking, do I think this election will have a positive effect on third parties? I believe there will be a
third parties had a positive effect on third parties.
That's true. I think third parties did a hell of a lot to hurt third parties. But I think that the next election will see a third party on the ballot. Like a solid third party will be on the ballot. What do you think?
I think so too, but it really depends on how the Republican Party deals with the aftermath of this election.
That's true too.
So if the Republican Party decides to forget that Trump ever happened, then that 30% of the Republican Party that is core Trump supporters will form their own fucking party. They will go somewhere else, form the racist party.
The Tea Party on
I don't
crack.
even think the Tea Party was that racist.
The Tea Party wasn't that racist. Oh no.
Or
oh
sexist.
no. The Tea Party backed a Paul Ryan.
Yeah.
The Tea Party did not back a Trump.
Yeah. So I think that there'll be a new, we'll call it alt-right because that's the popular term right now. There'll be a new alt-right Republican Party. They'll have some crazy fucking name, and they will pose a major threat to midterm elections, and then we'll see how they do for the next presidential election.
Ken says he's very skeptical that the vote swapping will have any real effect in outcomes. I do too. I don't think it will have any real effect either.
I do too, but I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I understand that. I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying, like it.
Maddie calls it the White Party.
The White Party.
That would be the new pro-Trump party. Will be the White Party.
Let's say that like a good major party campaign gets a hold of this vote swapping idea.
Yeah.
And they use it to build votes for a third party in a state where they're maybe not winning, but that third party will take away votes from their opponent. Okay. So let's say it's like Florida, and the Republicans are down a few points, and they decide, hey, let's get a vote swapping campaign going in Florida for Jill Stein. So they try and build a few points for Jill Stein. They get votes out of their state into another state.
But that would be tens of thousands of people. You have to convince.
I know.
You have to convince tens of thousands of people who are Republican,
right,
to vote for Jill Stein.
If it means they can win.
But they won't. That's my point, is that you'd have to, first of all, you'd have to make that such a massive campaign. That can't be quiet.
No, but as you said, vote swapping is not explicitly illegal.
It's not, but it's when you're doing that for specifically that purpose, it would be seen as, it would absolutely make waves as being highly questionable and immoral. So I don't think that that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either, and I think it's an interesting political idea. And it really only works...
Patrick, I've got your question. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
And it really only works in the ridiculous electoral system that we have.
Really
like, if we were to switch to a more popular vote system, there'd be no reason to vote swap.
Exactly. I agree. Patrick Purcell brings up something that is it's kind of connected. Have you seen the worry that the Republicans have been having in Texas? They're spending more money proportionally in the state than ever before. Is this indicative of anything deeper than securing Texas? Are they worried they may lose the state, seeing the Latino turnout and liberal rise in Dallas?
Okay, so this is actually a thing that I've seen. A few of the online projection models, one by Real Clear Politics, made Texas a swing state for an amount of time. I don't know if they're still a swing state, but they put Texas in the toss-up section for a little while. And the reason is, during the debates, Donald Trump was doing so poorly that he was down. Let's see, let me find... He was polling within 10 points of Hillary Clinton in Texas. Which was not a good thing for Donald Trump.
No.
Because Texas is a state that he should be winning no matter what. So once they started polling within 10 points, the Republicans were like, fuck, we're going to lose Texas. And a few other states, by the way, Georgia, Arizona, those are toss-up states, guys.
Yep.
Those are states that Hillary Clinton is polling even with Donald Trump on.
Which has not happened.
No.
Democrats pulling even with Republicans.
Georgia hasn't voted for a Democrat since Carter.
Yeah.
And that was because he was governor of the state. So the Republicans are really worried about some of these Southern Belt states because Donald Trump is not liked among evangelical Christians for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a big win in Texas, and that's a big win in Georgia, and that's a big win in a lot of these southern states that he's just not polling well in. He's since bounced back. Well, 538.com has Donald Trump at a 95% chance of winning Texas. So the Republicans are pretty safe in Texas. Georgia, not so much.
Yeah, I mean that's. I wouldn't be worried as much about Texas. I think the turnout is going to be very good for. There are going to be some surprises tomorrow. There's going to be surprises. I think on both sides, there's going to be surprises.
Okay, so states you should watch for.
Okay.
Early in the night, North Carolina. Whichever way North Carolina goes is going to be the way the election goes. North Carolina is polling at like 50-50 right now. So if there's a higher turnout and the Democrats manage to get North Carolina is not going to be called right away. North Carolina is going to be too close to call for the entire night. It's going to be one of the last states called. Same with Florida. Whichever way those two states go is the way the election is going to go.
Question for you. Question for anybody out there who wants to point this in as well. Ken thinks that he believes that there could be a 15-point landslide if there's a large turnout of African Americans and Latinos.
There is going to be a large turnout of Latinos. African Americans, there's going to be a lower turnout.
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, lower than when Obama was.
But Latinos are going to win Hillary Clinton, Nevada, and Arizona.
Yes.
Those states. If there's a large turnout of Latinos in those states, Donald Trump is going to have a very rough night.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. So here's a question I have for everybody out there and for you. Do we think that this is decided on Election Day?
Yeah.
You think it's decided? You don't think that's going to go into the next day?
It's not going to go into the next day.
Right.
And here's why. Like I said with North Carolina and Florida, Florida is either going to be close for Trump or Hillary's going to win it by a lot. Like, it's not even going to be a question if Hillary wins it. Same with North Carolina. It's either going to be close for Trump or Hillary. The way the election is going to go is I heard there's three possible scenarios.
Okay.
One is a close Trump victory, which is going to go into the next day, or a close Hillary victory, which will not go into the next day because you'll know the state she's going to win, or a Hillary Clinton landslide. There is no scenario for this where Trump wins by a landslide, just because of the simple math of the states he's trying to win.
He's not. Yeah, no. There's no landslide for Trump in this. If Trump does manage to eke out a victory,
And
which, by the way, speaking of eking out a victory, FBI, fuck you, fuck you, and I hope you're listening. And I hope they're not.
I mean,
but
it's the NSA is listening.
The NSA is like, well, they don't get. The NSA's kept their nose out of it. The NSA's smart. FBI, fuck you. All right? You're back-ass bullcrap trying to manipulate the election. It really is. It's just the basic level of idiocy.
Yeah.
It's not even a masterful manipulation. It's a guy who thought he could get away. And after this election's done, I think Obama's going to send him packing his bags. Do you think Comey's staying? I don't think so.
Yeah, he's going to stay.
You think so?
Unless he resigns himself.
Well, I think they're going to highly recommend it.
I think the Justice Department has already done that. I think the Loretta Lynch has already been like, hey, Comey, you might want to pack your bags. But here's the thing, is he didn't explicitly do anything illegal. He's not electioneering or anything like that.
No.
And what he did, he can spin to, he did for the good of America, and he did it for justice, and he didn't do it to alter the election. But I have heard leaks that there are agents within the FBI who forced this out, who leaked it, like this is the fucking KGB, and they're leaking information about foreign intelligence sources. Yeah. But there are elements within the FBI who should be investigated. I don't think James Comey is one of them.
Yeah.
He was trying to get out ahead of this. The reason he sent the letter to Congress is that there were leaks in his department about these emails.
Okay.
So he's getting out ahead of it, saying to Congress, saying, "Hey, listen, guys, we have these emails. We're going to look into them, and we're going to get a warrant, and we're going to do all this stuff." He had to do that.
Maybe he had to do it, but the headline is there.
Yeah.
I'm not not a political guy, but
I'm not saying it looked good for him, but it was something that he either did now or faced the consequences of his department leaking this without him knowing about it.
even the way he wrote the letter, even the way he wrote that letter was so slimy.
It could have been handled better on all fronts.
I don't know. I think someone's getting fired.
Oh yeah, there's definitely
And there might be
some
resignation.
people
I think so.
I think if no matter who the next president is, they're going to be looking for a new FBI director.
So Patrick, you disagree, and this is going to be like 13 grade. You disagree that Comey's going to get canned or going to get asked to resign, or because you're saying Chafee was making claims 48 hours before the letter was sent.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that there were leaks within the FBI that got out before the letter was sent. Comey was just trying to cover his ass by doing this.
Okay. I mean, I'll buy that. I'll totally buy that.
If anything, he should be forced to resign for the way his department handled this. Because he's the director of the FBI and ultimately responsible for what the FBI does.
Ken is saying you're a bit naive. Ken says that he should have waited to announce anything. He grabbed 2 weeks of news cycles.
He did, but it was going to happen no matter what. Whether he said that or it came through anonymous, quote, anonymous sources.
Oh. All right, so a couple of things just want to get off the way because people are asking things. If he doesn't get, people are saying that if Trump doesn't get Pennsylvania, this is Ken saying it, there's no way it's even close.
Pennsylvania, Hillary Clinton has a 75% chance.
It's pretty good, yeah. Adam asks, do you think a magician performed well in a presidential debate? I would perform well, and I'm saying for me personally. I know magicians who are like myself, we'd perform very well in a debate. Doesn't mean we'd be good at running the country. Oh, fuck no. But I could out-talk the other side. That's not a problem. That's part of my job. And Judy, my mom.
Your mom is
Hi,
watching
Mom.
this. Hi, Miss Myron.
That's right. I think if Clinton wins, Trump will demand a recount somewhere and tie it up as long as he can.
He will.
Oh, he will, but I don't think he's not
Even
going
if
to get
Hillary
enough.
wins by a landslide, Donald Trump's going to declare a recount.
Yeah, lawyers are going to be involved, but we're going to have it decided.
Both campaigns have been staffing up lawyers for the last month. That's how bad they think this is going to get.
Comey. Patrick says Comey staying is what I disagree with. I think time will tell. I think he's going to be. I think he made too many mistakes during this entire thing.
Yeah, I think the Justice Department is going to be looking into the way the FBI handled this, and there will be at least conferences on the Hill.
Yeah, and my mom even mentioned the FBI is not supposed to be political. It needs a total overhaul.
And there's even a law.
I
about
agree,
this.
Mom.
there is a law that government agencies should not interfere with elections. It's called the Hatch Act, I think it's called. And there's been a big discussion about whether Comey violated that or not, and I think that discussion will continue beyond the election.
Yeah. As a note, Sarah said, voting for what I want versus voting to fight Trump. I'm with Maddie. Sarah, you live in Connecticut, vote for who you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I agree
There's
with you.
a handful of states where it doesn't matter who you vote for. Connecticut's one of
We're
them.
one of them. We are absolutely one of them.
I mean, I'm saying vote.
You have to vote, and vote your down card. You better... All right.
Vote. You better vote down ballot.
All right.
I swear to God.
Okay. Before you step into those voter booths tomorrow, you better do some goddamn research on the people who are also in your district.
And not only that, but I mean, there's governor's races going on. I mean, it depends on what state you live in, but in Connecticut, we're just talking about Connecticut. You're voting for president. You're voting for one of our senators who's running for re-election, Richard Blumenthal.
Yep.
His opponent is Dan Carter. You should look them up if you live in Connecticut. You're also looking for your House races. Every district in every state has at least one House race.
Yeah.
And you're also looking for state elections and whatever ballot initiatives there are.
Look them up and look at what's going on. Patrick brings up a very dark question, but a very good question.
Okay.
Over under on casualties the day after if Trump loses and declares insurrection.
I'm not going to speculate on people getting injured during the
We don't want people to speculate on people getting injured. I'd rather speculate, do we think that Trump is going to What do we say? What's going to happen? Is he going to accept the results? Maybe not tonight or tomorrow night, but will he ultimately accept the results, or is he going to say to his followers, "This has been rigged"?
If there are no major flubs like 2000 Florida,
Okay.
which there shouldn't be because of recent legislation, if there are no recounts, if there's no recounts triggered in any states because they're too close, Donald Trump will be forced by the Republican Party to accept the election.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to fuck around with that. Because what that does is delegitimize every president after this. Because then you can be like, well, I don't agree with those results. Those results are rigged or whatever.
Yeah. I agree.
I think he'll try to fight it. I really think he will. But beyond saying, I don't agree with this, I demand a recount, I don't think that he's going to be allowed to give a whole lot of pushback on it.
And on that note, going into that, having his Twitter taken away. You heard about this?
He didn't have his Twitter taken away.
Oh, was that a fake news story?
It wasn't a fake news story, it was a misleading news story. So Donald Trump's Twitter is still active.
Oh, no. His Twitter is still active.
His campaign took it from him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
His campaign took his Twitter away.
The campaign took it away from him because they want him to stay on message, which is something he's been doing during his rallies recently. He's been staying on message, and good for him. They took it away from him. He can still say, I want to tweet this, but they have to approve it first.
And Lana says, after all said and done, we've all got to get along. Don't act like a total douchebag tomorrow. Be kind and compassionate like you were on 9/11. If we can unite then, we can unite now.
Why do we gotta mention 9/11?
Well, here's what I'm interested by. But this is something that I've seen, okay? People are comparing this election to major catastrophic events.
That's because this election is a major catastrophic event. Have you seen the stuff that's been going on?
I know. It's terrifying. That's what's terrifying to me.
Yeah.
None of the other stuff. Because you know what? A lot of Trump supporters are, and someone mentioned it, I think Ken probably said this, I don't know, I'm going to say again, the vast majority are internet angry and won't do any real life violence.
Yeah.
I agree. I completely agree. People would be pissed that Hillary is going to get the election if that happens. But bottom line is that I don't think, God, I want there not to be violence over this. I want there not to be violence over this.
I don't even like the idea that there might be.
I don't like the idea there might be either. I don't like the idea, but that exists. That's out there.
And
unfortunately, you don't, and I hate to put this, be party specific, but you don't see that in the Democratic side. You don't see that kind of rhetoric in the Democratic side.
No, you don't.
Not in a massive level like there is on the Trump side.
I mean, remember the debates when, not the general election debates, but the primary debates when the Republicans were at each other's throats and they were trying to beat out Donald Trump. And at one point, both Hillary and Bernie Sanders were like, well, at least we're not those fuckers over there.
Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah, it was really showing the kids' table and the adult table.
Yeah.
With those two different debates. And it you say what you want about how the debates went, but you still saw that same thing with how the main debates went.
Prime example, a few days ago there was a rally held by President Obama.
Yes.
And there was a protester he was wearing military garb. He was a former Marine, I guess. He was wearing Marine clothing. And he had a Trump sign. He was shouting Trump stuff. And the crowd was turning against him in a bad way. And Obama was like, let him speak. He's got free speech. The Secret Service is going to mop him up in a minute. But he was like, he has the right to say that. So let him say it.
Yeah. And then, of course, oh my God, Trump just tried lying about it.
Yeah.
In that wasn't the same day?
Yeah.
It's like the same day Trump tried saying, he yelled at the guy. And it's like,
he was like, let the guy speak. He's got something to say. I don't mind it.
Okay, so two things. One, Lana, I will disagree with you. I don't believe that Democrats are more mature emotionally. I don't believe that at all. I believe that people who are hardcore Trump supporters, who believe in the negative rhetoric
Yeah.
There is something amiss.
Maturity is not inherently democratic.
No, but I believe that when you're with Trump, I believe that people who take his word as bond, yes, there is a major problem with them. But I also believe that people who take Hillary's word as bond have a problem with them as well. The only difference is that Trump has repeatedly talked about violence.
Yeah.
And Hillary has not talked about that towards people. To the point of where you guys punch him out, I'll pay for your legal expenses.
And there was a small faction of the Democratic Party after Bernie Sanders lost. It was like Bernie or bust. And they were, harassing people on the internet and doing these things. I mean, nowhere near what the Trump campaign did. But there was that among the Democratic Party too. And maturity is not inherently a Democratic thing.
Maddie asks...
It should be a universal value.
It should be a universal value, right? Maddie asks, I've heard rumors of Trump supporters planning on going and standing around polling places to intimidate voters. Is that even legal? No!
And in fact, the judge in Ohio said it's not.
Yes, it is not illegal. It's not legal. And only on top of that, you can't even have signs within...
Depending on the state you live in.
Connecticut's
like 75 feet of a polling place. Other states have similar laws. Other states, you can't even have press inside polling places.
In fact, there's people who are they're not getting in trouble, but there's a little bit of a question because you're not supposed to be taking... Don't take a selfie of you with your ballot. It's not that it invalidates it, but it's not...
Yeah.
They don't want you to do that.
It's supposed to be a secret ballot. And
Yeah.
some states take that to heart.
It's true.
The whole thing about whether or not Donald Trump supporters are going to go out and watch the polls, that's something that was put out by the Trump campaign.
And Lana, I do agree with you. Because she said she saw the video of Obama and the vet holding a Trump sign. That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
And here's the difference. It's not the difference, though, between Democrats and Republicans. It's the difference between Trump and the rest of the world.
And it's really the difference between Trump and the rest of politics.
Yeah, Trump and hardcore Trump followers and the rest of the general political landscape. And you've got to remember that. That's the thing that's going to be tough to remember. I had a conversation with a friend of mine about the fact that he's going to vote for Trump. And I asked very flat out, I said, why? And we started talking about it. He doesn't agree with him socially.
Yeah.
At all. But he thought he agreed with him fiscally on certain issues. And I started talking about that. I ignored the usual anger and burning hate that I have for people who have the social issues.
Right.
Because the bottom line is there's a lot of people voting for Trump who aren't one-issue voters.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. And I get that. Unfortunately, when it comes to human rights... It's an issue that I very much so see as a very strong thing to get behind.
Yeah.
And I can't even have somebody wavering on human rights. I can't even have somebody even saying to me, well, maybe gays should get married. No, you can evolve your standpoint. You can evolve your ideas. I don't mind that. Like Hillary evolved her standpoint, I don't care if you change your mind because the mass of people say you have to change your mind. I'm fine with that too. I don't want you putting up any legislation to stop that from happening. But that's that is my opinion. But there are people there who are not one-issue voters and who aren't two-issue voters, who aren't social issue voters, who are only voting because they feel like these people are going to do the best for the business side thing. And this guy was a small business owner as well. I see what he's saying. I don't agree with him at all. I think that Trump's business ideas those that exist are terrible.
Right.
But it's something that we have to remember is that Republicans are not Trump supporters. Any more than Democrats are not Hillary supporters.
Let me tell you, Democrats are certainly not Hillary supporters. At least some of them.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. But there's a good chance that those people who are... I'm voting for Hillary, but I wouldn't necessarily call myself a Hillary supporter.
Yeah, it comes down to who you think is going to be best for America for the next 4 to 8 years.
And the other side of the coin is, if you live in a swing state, you're not going to get what you want. If you don't want Hillary or Trump, you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah,
you have to accept who is going to be closer to what you want. That's what all of politics is.
Yeah. There's a clip by Lawrence O'Donnell, MSNBC. I know, MSNBC, whatever. But from the 2012 election where he talks about third-party candidates. And at the time, it was Jill Stein and Gary Johnson still, and a few other people. But he was talking about how he lives in Connecticut. He does live in Connecticut. And he's never voted for a presidential candidate that has won, except for once. I think he voted for Clinton in '92.
Okay.
But he's talking about how in states that aren't swing states, like the majority of Americans, your vote counts less than a swing state voter. And if you live in a swing state, your vote really does matter.
Yeah.
If you live in Iowa or Vermont or North Carolina, your vote really does matter, and you really have to decide between Hillary and Trump.
Yeah. That's.
But if you live in like California or Louisiana or some other deeply red or blue state, whatever, you vote for whoever you want as long as you vote.
Yeah, please vote. I mean, I make the joke, if you're undecided, stay home. Don't actually stay home. Read a little before you go out. Do me a favor. Go read. Just read up. Look at their stances. You can find their stances exceedingly easily.
Yeah.
Hell, go to isidewith.com.
Yeah, and just answer like some questions. You don't have to answer all the questions. Answer some of them.
Exactly. Just figure out who best supports your ideas and vote for them.
The more important races, and I've said this before on the show when we weren't doing live shows, the more important races really are the congressional races.
Yeah.
Senators and congressmen, because, and here's the reason. In 4 years, there will be a census. And that census will determine the makeup of the House of Representatives for the next 10 years. And that is most important. Whichever party is in control of that House of Congress will get to make the district map for the next 10 years. Congress, in the next 4 years, will be more important than the president.
I agree. I totally agree. With the exception of one. Well, no, not the exception of one thing, because Supreme Court justices have to get approved.
Yeah, they have to get approved by the Senate. So the Senate matters too. Guess what?
So get the people you want in there. Get the undercard. I don't call it the undercard. I don't care. It's the undercard, the down ticket. I like undercard because it sounds more like a boxing match. But get those people in because that's what matters. That's the stuff that matters.
And your state houses matter because that's a lot more close to what you actually want done. If you want something in your town or your state done, say your state fucks up the budget annually like Connecticut does, vote for your state senate and your state house because the people you put in are going to put in the ideas that you want.
Yeah. I mean, it's there's a lot of, and you know, there's Democrats screwing up left and right. And so for people who think
Connecticut.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And for people who think that I'm some kind of a hardline Democrat, I've said I'm libertarian before. I really am. I would like libertarian ideas fiscally and socially as well. But unfortunately, I've seen so many Democrats screw up, especially in Connecticut. You know, it's really hard for me to go Republican with them with a social. They got to get away from social stances. Get away from social stances, Republicans. You can win so many more votes if you stop trying to be the Christian party.
Keep putting there's no need to panic. The president can't do things unopposed.
I agree.
To a certain extent.
But he will push the conversation. He or she pushes the conversation.
Oh yeah, the president definitely sets the agenda for the country for the next 4 years.
Exactly.
But all right, Trump can't fucking build the wall. Let's just put that out
there. Let's put it there. Trump's not building the wall.
He's
not happening.
It has to be paid for. Mexico's not going to pay for it. You can't make. And even if you were to impose a tax on Mexico, they still aren't going to fucking pay for it because Congress would never allow it.
So I'm going to go to the other side of the coin. Hillary's not going to take your guns away.
Oh, all right, so she'd be violating 2 amendments. I think we talked about this last time. Violating 2 amendments by doing this. There's no way.
Hillary's not taking your guns away. Obama didn't even try to take your guns away in 8 years.
He was just really angry about them.
Yeah, he was. And he wanted to have a decent conversation about gun law.
You just wanted to look at your guns before you got them.
Yeah, and he wanted to make sure that somebody else could look at them too and make sure that you're not a psychopath.
He wanted to make sure you could trace your guns once you shot someone with them.
Exactly. So, that's not happening on either side. So get that out of the equation. Take that away from what you're thinking. All right? God, it bothers me so. It does get to me. It gets to me. I can't wait for tomorrow. I don't want to sleep.
I don't know. The whole problem problem, and the biggest problem I have with the whole Trump campaign is Trump believes he can do whatever he wants unilaterally.
Yeah.
He believes that once he's president, he can fucking he'll build the wall, he'll cut the taxes, he'll deport everyone who's not Trump. He'll definitely deport the gingers.
Yeah, it's true. So if you guys want to see me get deported, you vote Trump. You vote Trump. You know what? I'll go to Canada. Canada likes gingers.
Canada does like gingers.
Canada likes, you know who really likes gingers? Japan.
Oh man, they go nuts for gingers. Especially tall ones.
Yeah. Yes, no, even the nuke button can't be pushed by just one person. That is true. However, again, it's pushing the agenda is what we're worried about.
Yeah.
But I'm not even worried about, again, why are there a lot of likes? Are there a lot of likes for me getting deported? I'm a little concerned.
I think the show wants you to get deported.
I think the viewers, there's currently 10, there's between 10 and 15 people who watch the
This is
show.
the problem. And I think that if Donald Trump is elected, the 30% chance that he has, I think if he is elected, he's going to be sorely mistaken about how much power the presidency actually has.
And Keith said, well, I'm voting Trump. Keith, you fuck off. You know what? You're going to get deported. You're going to get deported too.
Hey Keith, your vote doesn't matter. Trump has a 1% chance of winning in Connecticut. Good luck.
You think Keith's going to vote for Trump? You think so? Just because of that? Okay.
Good luck, guys. Good luck.
Oh, okay. All right. Sarah asks, this is an interesting question.
All right.
Is it entirely irrational to move out of the country in the event of a Trump presidency? Although I'm sure I already know the answer to that one. It is not entirely irrational, but it is irrational.
It's all right. So
Let's talk about it.
Trump winning the election is, and I'll say the same thing for Hillary because it's pretty.
Because there's people who want to, both sides of the coin.
Whoever's going to be president in this election is not going to have any sort of political clout or mandate at the beginning of their term. Meaning that the election has been so contentious and both candidates are so damaged politically that whoever is elected is going to come up against a divided government, is going to come up against whatever investigations are in their future.
Yeah, for both sides.
Hillary Clinton's still going to have to deal with the email thing after Election Day because it's only a day away. And, there's still that whole FBI thing going on. And Donald Trump has a lot of stuff coming down on him all at once in the next couple of months.
Yep.
So either way, you're going to have a sitting president who is essentially going to be a lame duck president for the first year or two of their term because...
Which is awkward because that is the first 100 days is when it matters.
And if it's Donald Trump, God knows he's going to be sitting up against a Democratic-controlled Senate and a smaller majority in the House, and he's not going to get the Supreme Court nominees he wanted, and then he's going to come up against the more moderate court than he wanted, and he's not going to be able to get anything done. And if it's Hillary Clinton, she'll have a democratically controlled Senate because the Democrats are controlling the Senate. Everyone just needs to get over that.
Yeah.
And she'll have a Republican-controlled House, and she's not going to get the Supreme Court nominees that she wanted either because the Democrats will have a very slim majority. And the Republicans are going to filibuster everything in sight.
Do we think, by the way, is Supreme Court the nominee?
Merrick Garland.
Merrick Garland. Is he still on the table or is that
yeah, he's on the table until Obama leaves office.
Okay.
Or rescinds his nomination.
All right. So he can let's say Hillary Clinton wins. Can she put him back in the nomination?
She can renominate him anytime she wants.
All right. Do we think that that's going to go through? Do we think that he's going to go through?
No.
Not at all?
The Republicans are going to reject him on principle.
Ugh.
Are you getting the spinny thing?
Nope. Still people are seeing us here.
Okay. My internet just sucks.
Nominees only need to be Senate confirmed with simple majorities. That is true.
But once again, nominees can be filibustered.
Yeah. And that might happen. Maybe Merrick Garland, after all this, they'll finally go through, but they might still keep him out because of things that happen to him.
Well, there's been Republicans already saying they're going to filibuster everyone Hillary Clinton sends up. John McCain said it. Ted Cruz said it. I mean, John McCain's one of the more rational people, but he's still like, I'm not gonna.
Still batshit.
Because the election has been so contentious, and because Barack Obama spent the first part of his presidency fucking the Republicans as hard as he could, the Republicans aren't over that yet.
Yeah, Republicans Republicans are very, very ex-girlfriend syndrome.
They are.
Very ex-lover syndrome. I don't want to say girlfriend, because boyfriends too. Very ex-lover syndrome. Very much so, you hurt me, and now I'm going to do everything I can to hurt you. And of course, unfortunately, we're the children in the middle.
Yeah.
We are the children they're losing custody over. We don't want to see the Democrats on every odd weekend.
They're all broken up over that date we had over the health insurance thing, and we said, you know what, we're just not right for each other. We're gonna do our thing, and you can go away, I guess. And then they're all like, I don't really like that, and we're just gonna yell at you for the next 8 years.
Yeah, seriously. Any other questions, people? Anybody else wants something to ask or something curious about?
I have something.
Oh, by the way, and on the whole moving somewhere thing out of the country,
it's expensive.
it is expensive. It takes years to get citizenship anywhere else, and you can get kicked out of other countries way easier than get kicked out of America. It's way easier to find your American ass,
especially if you're an American national and you're moving to another country because you don't like the president. They're like, no.
Yeah. But the other part of it, too, is that if you think the policies that you think that these people will put into place are not something that will affect you in this presidency, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, Donald Trump's going to come up against his own wall when he realizes that the presidency is not just, push a button and things
Patrick,
like that.
sorry, Patrick. Patrick said we threw out a question and we didn't see it. It kind of zooms by. Things zoom by very fast on our feed.
Or not at all on my computer.
On his computer, because it sucks. Since this election is so fucking batshit historical lately, how about some more historical firsts? Thoughts on electoral vote splitting from the states?
We talked about that, didn't we?
I thought we did.
Are we talking about swapping or splitting? Oh, splitting?
Yeah.
Maine and Nebraska, they split electoral votes.
They'll split electoral votes?
Yeah, they split it by district. So what happened is Maine and Nebraska felt that the electoral college was a little bit too loosey-goosey with all this winner-takes-all stuff. So they're like, we're going to split our votes up by districts. Whoever wins the district gets the vote.
Undeclared voters cannot vote in primary elections. They can vote in general elections.
They can vote whenever the fuck they want in
general elections.
Yeah,
but they can't vote in primary.
No, because some primaries.
Some primaries.
Here's the big difference that I don't think people realize between primary elections and general elections. Primary elections are run by the state parties, and each state has its own rules about primaries.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he asking about electoral differing from popular vote? He's saying, is Patrick asking? Ken thinks he's asking about electoral votes differing from popular vote. Well, as we know,
that is a thing.
That's not historically all that crazy.
5 times.
Five times. Five.
5 times in 55 elections, the winner of the electoral vote did not win the popular vote.
I do not believe that that's going to be the case here. I don't believe it's going to be the case here.
Hillary Clinton. I don't have the stats up with me right now because my computer's broken. But Hillary Clinton has a 70% chance of winning the electoral vote with a 50% majority. Or the popular vote, sorry. The popular vote with a 50% majority. The problem is this time around is the third-party candidates are taking from the popular vote. So neither one of them has a pretty good chance of getting 50%.
Yeah.
I think Johnson and Steiner combined 7%. So that's 7% that's taken out of 100, and then Hillary Clinton and Trump are going to split the rest.
Lana asked how long are we going to be talking for. Are you just asking that because you don't want us to talk anymore?
Do you not like us?
I mean, or
Internet, do you not like us?
We've got 15 people watching right now. 13. Well,
I mean,
apparently we asked that question.
I plan this thing till 9 o'clock, but we can go all night long.
Crap. I don't know if I have the stamina or the historical background to go all night long.
Neither does my computer. What the fuck, computer?
Yeah.
Control-Alt-Delete.
Looks like you can't Google things.
I can't.
And also, Lana, keep in mind, you can leave at any time. It is your right as an American citizen.
As a Facebook citizen.
Just make sure to like our page. Like mine.
So the thing about the difference between the electoral vote and the popular vote, it's fairly simple. The states divide up their statewide popular vote and divide up their electoral vote based on who won. And it has been the instance a couple of times that the person who won the electoral vote through electoral math They won a certain number of states, and that got them the electoral 270. Did not win the popular vote.
Yeah, that's for you, Lana, by the way. Well, I can do the fact things. That's not a big problem. But there's not a lot of I mean, the thing is, at this point, what we're talking about here is a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of fact-checking for us in this. Like the last time we all talked, a lot of fact stuff, because we were talking about a lot of crap that Trump was saying and was wrong about.
Trump has been pretty quiet as of the last week or so. He's been pretty low-key. He doesn't want to rattle the cage any more than he has to.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff, though. And here's the thing. I was watching. I was at the gym. Yeah, that's right. I was at the gym. Yeah. No, but I was at the gym and I saw Trump was on his third of 5 campaign rally stops.
They're jet setting all over the country.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely getting there. And I was looking at the screen and I said, "Best of luck, asshole." I really was like, and I have to admit, I was taking it. Oh, I was talking about states deciding to split their votes or similar shenanigans to the Florida debacle of the electorals in 2000. There's a couple of states who do electoral vote splitting, and we already mentioned.
Yeah, Nebraska and Maine.
That's about it.
That's it. Those are the only 2 states. Everyone else is winner take all.
Yeah.
I mean, the Florida 2000 thing, that was a recount of popular vote. And that was botched horribly.
Yeah, Keith says this show kind of falls apart without a Matt, Ken, or Nolan. That's right, it does. But thankfully, we don't need a Keith. Watching you, Keith.
Suck it.
And also, Ken's never been on this podcast, has he?
Yeah, no, the show does fall apart without Ken because he's never here.
He's never been here.
Ken.
Never, Ken.
God, stop having a life.
Yeah, he doesn't have a life. He's just a pianist. Right in Nader LeDuc. You know, writing in Nader, that's a good pull. Good pull there, Lana. Lana's delightful and definitely can play the Nader card, I guess.
So let's talk about I mean, we're talking about possibilities. So what do you think Hillary what do you think the election's going to be? How many votes do you think Hillary's going to get electorally?
I think Kenzie's been there. You haven't been here. No, sorry, you're wrong.
He's been on the podcast, but he hasn't been on a live taping.
He hasn't been on live taping. This is where the people are. But I think that Hillary is going to get...
Do you think it's going to be a landslide? Do you think Hillary's going to run away with it? Or do you think...
No, I don't think... Someone asked about closet Trump voters. I don't think there's that many closet Trump voters.
Talking about the Bradley effect, we already covered that.
Yeah. I don't think there's that enough closet Trump voters. But also, I think that because there's also just as many closet Clinton voters.
Yeah, there are a lot of people. It could go either way. There are a lot of people who are saying they're going to vote for Trump who are really going to vote for Hillary when it comes down to it because Trump worries them.
It's true.
Especially a lot of Republicans who didn't want Trump.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. There's a lot of Republicans who don't want Trump.
I mean, there's a point where voting along party lines doesn't really work when your candidate is a lunatic.
I want to say between 320 and 330.
You think it's going to go that high? You think Hillary Clinton's going to break the 300s?
I think she'll break 300s. Maybe 3 teens. But I think she'll break the 300s. Because there's so many things working against Trump.
So the 3 states right now that are basically 50-50 are Florida, North Carolina, and Nevada.
Yeah.
So do you think that Trump has enough pull to get Florida, to get 2 of the 3 of those?
No. I think maybe 1. Maybe 1.
I think he'll get North Carolina because there'll be a suppressed African American turnout. Not like they're not going to be allowed to vote, like they won't vote.
Do you hear this? Tim Bristol proclaims that they're going to be suppressing voters who are African American.
I think North Carolina won't have as big as a turnout as they expect. So once again, it'll go until late night for that state. But I think Trump will come out with North Carolina, and Hillary Clinton will get Nevada and Florida because of the large Latino populations and the large Latino turnout in those states.
And in Florida, she'll get a large amount of the Jewish vote. Because the Jewish vote, the folks down in Florida who are Jewish, they've seen Trump's crap before, and they don't want that happening again. Just throwing that out there.
I think that Hillary Clinton will win, but I think it's going to be a slim majority.
You think so?
I think
you think it's going to be under 300?
I think it'll be just under 300. I think she'll hit the 290s. She'll get Florida, but she'll lose Ohio and Iowa.
All right. Well,
She's not going to win Georgia, even though it's close. Interesting, though. I know we talked about Evan McCullen earlier. He has a good chance of winning Utah as a state
Utah.
because of the Mormon population.
You think Mormons like Trump? Do they?
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't like Trump. Oh, you think?
I'm saying McMullen is going to win
McMullen.
Utah.
I don't think so.
No, because he's polling above Hillary,
Yeah.
and he's polling almost even with Trump. So if there is a large Mormon turnout in Utah, then he could take electoral votes away from Donald Trump,
That's true.
which would screw down. If Donald Trump loses any of the heavy red states, he's done. Like
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton can stand to lose a few blue states that aren't too big, but Donald Trump can't lose anything.
Yeah.
If he loses Utah, his night is over.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bad day. I think I'm throwing a prediction out there. I think it's gonna be a bad day for Donald Trump. I think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be a little loss. I don't think this is gonna be a tiny loss.
It's not gonna. Even if it is a little loss, he's not gonna turn it into a little loss. He's gonna throw a fit on national television.
Oh yeah, something. Keep to your TV sets, people. Let's keep
Oh
it
yeah, tune in at if it's not close at all, tune in at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because that's the time they're going to start calling the race, and Donald Trump's going to have to do a concession speech.
Oh.
Because I think the 11 o'clock is the last poll closings.
Lana asks, is it true Putin threatens war against us if Trump loses?
No.
Nope.
No.
Not true.
Putin isn't dumb.
Yeah.
And the whole Putin-Trump thing is blown out of proportion a little bit. I think that Donald Trump has said some things about Putin that he shouldn't have said, but they're not in cahoots. They're not colluding. Nice poker term. But it's not all that. I mean, he doesn't like Clinton, but he really doesn't want Trump to win.
No. I don't think there's any foreign leader that really wants Trump to win.
If I were Putin...
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants Trump
Maybe
to
Kim
win.
Jong. If I were Putin, I would want Hillary to win, because at least Hillary is someone I've dealt with before.
Yeah.
Because she used to be Secretary of State, so she met with Putin all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a person that you can deal with. But Donald Trump has shown that he's not a person that you can deal with. Even on a world stage. I mean, he went to Mexico to talk to the Mexican president and basically tried to blackmail the Mexican president into paying for the wall. And the Mexican president was like, I'm not paying for the wall. And Donald Trump in the press conference was like, we talked about it, it's on the table. And then the Mexican president later said it wasn't on the table. He asked and I said no.
But that's okay. The Mexican president said it in Spanish, so Donald Trump has no idea what he said. So it's fine.
But you can't go to other countries, hold a press conference with a world leader, and then lie about that world leader said.
Yeah, no, they don't think. It's not going to be a good day for Donald Trump.
I mean, if Donald Trump gets elected.
Yeah.
The 30% chance he's going to get elected. World leaders are going to start talking to each other.
Yeah.
And saying, what the fuck did America just do? Europe's gonna be like, fuck, what do we do now? We're not gonna be able to deal with these people. Because God knows who Donald Trump's Secretary of State is gonna be. Is it gonna be fucking Newt Gingrich?
Nope, Secretary of State is going to be Ivanka Trump.
It's gonna be Scott Baio. Scott Baio for Secretary.
Scott Baio for Secretary of State. Lana asked how old is Socks? Does he get Social Security now? I believe Socks is dead.
Yeah.
I believe Socks the cat is dead.
Socks
It's
the
been
cat
a
is
while.
dead, yeah.
It's been a long time. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Cats
Dad.
don't live that long.
No. They do, but not when there's a presidency involved. Nope. So, who gets into Clinton's cabinet? Keith asked me Bill Clinton's old liquor cabinet.
Joke.
That's right. There's a lot of sad faces for the death of Socks.
Oh, poor Socks.
I agree. I might be lying about that, by the way. We have no factual data on Socks the cat, so it could truly be the thing.
I mean, I'll Google Socks the cat in 1 second and find out.
But we have questions on who will be in Clinton's cabinet. Do we have any idea? Do we know? I don't know.
I mean, Clinton was shopping around for Joe Biden for Secretary of State, but he said no.
Yeah, Joey didn't say that.
I think Clinton is going to stock some standard Democrats in there.
You're not going to get any big surprises.
No.
No big
I think
surprises.
her secretary. She might keep John Kerry on as Secretary of State. I mean, he's been a good choice.
Yep.
Her finance committee is going to be stacked with her friends from Wall Street.
Which, by the way, would that blow your mind? Did that blow your mind a little bit? The fact that John Kerry is a good Secretary of State. That blew my mind a little bit.
He's really good. He's a better. I'm going to say he's a better Secretary of State than Hillary Clinton.
Probably, yeah. He made less waves. That's for damn sure.
And I think he's.
Hi, James Carty.
Hi.
Hi there.
I think he was much more of a statesman, just because of his political background and all that, than Hillary Clinton was. Mm-hmm. And he's a lot more, what's the word? Eloquent than Hillary Clinton is.
Think so?
I think he's got more gravitas.
So I get it. So it's because she's a woman. You don't think that she's a good Secretary of State?
She's a terrible Secretary of State because she has a vagina.
His name is Timothy Bristol, and you can contact him at speakingfromthecenter
at gmail.com. Send your hate mail directly to speakingfromthecenter@gmail.com.
Right there. That's what his feelings are. I mean, it's a bold statement to make.
I just think it's the way they present themselves.
I actually do. All right, all joking aside, I think that John Kerry probably is doing a better job than Clinton. Has done a lot of, and I think one of the big reasons that he's kept his nose clean.
And I will say that the same thing about Joe Biden as vice president.
Yeah.
Except for the parts where he fell asleep during speeches, he really decided to be a invisible force in the White House.
Yep.
He decided, I'm going to be vice president, but people don't need to know I'm vice president.
Yeah.
Until I have to do a speech.
Except for the ladies. Everyone knows Joe Biden's vice president. Yeah.
But I really wanted Joe Biden to run for president. If I couldn't get Bernie Sanders, I wanted Joe Biden because I think he did a really good job as being vice president, and he knows the job well enough to be president.
Yeah.
And I think that he already had the connections together to be president, but because of debts in his family and some stuff he had going on, he just couldn't do it.
I think it's I don't know. I don't know if he ever was really considering going to be president. I don't know if he ever really was, but I think the final end of that was his son, and I agree with that. So I think we are coming up. I think we're coming up on.
We got a couple
minutes. A few minutes. Any last questions from folks before because we've got a couple of things we can shoot back and forth. But any last questions from folks that they want to talk about as far as the politics go? We've been here now for an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Not count maybe an hour and 30 if you don't count all the technical glitches and stuff.
My phone almost being destroyed.
His phone almost exploding. That would have been amazing.
It is a Samsung phone, but it's not the Note 7.
Oh, bummer. So if anyone's got any last minute questions before we sign off here, we're not going all night. If it was election night, I could see us going all night. But there's no way we're doing that. So I have to eat dinner. For God's sake.
Dinner? What's that?
It's food that you get later on.
It's food that you get later on. I thought that was dessert.
No, but you know what? If you get yourself a Trump presidency, desserts will be huge. There'll be huge desserts everywhere. They'll all be gold flaked, and
so all right. Here's final thoughts.
Yeah.
What is both the best part of this election? What was the best part of this election, and what was the worst part of this election?
All right, let's go worst first. I want to do worst first. The worst part of this election: racism, homophobia, misogyny.
I'm sorry, you get one thing.
Oh no, these are all one thing.
Okay.
Xenophobia. All in the case of one person with the biggest microphone that the U.S. has. That's the worst thing that's come out of this. The fact that there are people in this country who, and we all know they're racists. We all know they're misogynists. We all know that there are xenophobic people out there. We all know that there are homophobes out there. what this friggin' testicle-shaped creamsicle Oompa Loompa motherfucker has given to this process is put that and made it acceptable to bring up in a presidential campaign. He's taken down the level of discourse. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we have to talk about these things in a presidential election. Because it was not just this election cycle.
Yeah.
It was with the birther movement. It was with all of this crap. And it's sad to me that it's so there and it's so prevalent and that people think that it's okay and justified because a man running for the highest office in the land talks about these things. That is the worst thing to me, by far, more than anything else.
Best thing?
The best thing. I won't know until tomorrow. But the best thing, I hope, is that the American people will prove that someone like that can't become president.
So your best thing is hope.
My best thing is hope. My best thing is always hope. That's what we can hope for. And hope for that when Clinton gets elected, that the Republican Party realizes the problems within itself and reforms and becomes a better Republican Party. And that the Democrats look at what's happened and they see the Republican Party becoming better, and then they have to get better in order to step it up a notch. I really do hope that we get this chance to raise the bar, because we have gone so deep into this well that the only thing I've got left is that we're going to come up from that.
Okay. I mean, I'll agree with that. The country, the political system only works correctly when there are two strong opposing parties. There has to be a strong liberal party, as much as the Democrats hate to admit it, they are, and there has to be a strong conservative party so that ideas get formed in the middle ground somewhere.
Yes.
For me, the worst thing. I mean, you already said it.
I can see, really? I mean, how is the hard? How can you find something worse than what's come out?
I'm going to say is that the worst thing that this election is going to produce is that more people aren't voting. Is that people were turned off by this election. People saw what was going on and said, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't care about what they're saying. This isn't representative of my country. And I'm not going to vote because this is terrible. That to me is the worst part, is the fact that this election it probably will drive down turnout in many states. It will, it's reducing the degree of political discourse to
third grade, as someone mentioned.
kindergarten.
Some people were talking about that apparently the debates were third grade.
It's gonna drive up polarization. It's going to increase ideological viewpoints. It's going to make the government function less rather than more. That's the part that's the worst to me, is that somehow, by this election, the president, like I said before, will not have a mandate. They will put a policy in forward, but fuck if anything's gonna get done. And I've been doing a political science research project on the state of Iowa, one of the battleground states. And what I found through the Iowa paper, the Des Moines Register, is that near 70% of Iowans think that it doesn't matter who wins, nothing's going to happen. I mean, those are people in a battleground state saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that my vote's not going to matter. Who's knowing nothing's going to get done? Bipartisanship is not a thing that exists right now.
Yeah.
And for me, the best thing, I'm going to have to say Bernie Sanders was the best thing to happen in the election. He was an independent politician who ran with a major political party and actually got somewhere. And he, despite the fact that I'm not a huge fan of Hillary Clinton, most of his platform got put into the Democratic platform. And that is a thing that I can get behind.
Change can happen. It just takes time.
And Bernie Sanders, I'll say this. Out of all the candidates that I've ever voted for, Bernie Sanders is the candidate that has most aligned with what I want out of the country.
And me as well.
It's just unfortunate that he didn't win. I don't hold that against the Democratic Party as much as they have fucked with it.
I hold it against the voters.
Yeah, I hold it against the people that didn't turn out. Once again, it's all about turnout, guys.
Yeah.
If you don't vote, then it's your own fault when people get elected you don't like.
Yeah. True. Go vote. Go vote. Tomorrow is the day. Go vote.
Yes.
Do a little research, especially on the down card. Okay?
The undercard?
On their card. On the undercard. On the undercard. Do a little research. Realize who you're going to want. Realize who you're going to take care of there. And go vote. Please.
Alright, and...
Do we have any websites that are good for people to look at that stuff?
Yes. I'm going to recommend a site that I use for a lot of my political science stuff, 538.com. It's run by Nate Silver, who's a statistician.
Is that written out? 538?
538.com, yep. 538, all one word.
Yeah.
Written out.
So not numeric.
Alphabet. It's a forecast model polling place. He also does a lot of sports stats. So if you want to look up your fantasy stuff, go there. But I mean, I was gonna close out by going through like what his projections are. I would also recommend isidewith.com.
isidewith.com is great
All
for the
the
mass
words.
scale. For the massive scale, because I don't think they do local stuff.
No, but they do, and you'll see how you line up against all the candidates, not just Hillary and Trump. It's Stein, Johnson.
Oh, there's like, what, 9? Isn't
Yeah,
there 9?
there's 9, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, go isidewith.com. That is correct, Lana. 538.com, spelled like that.
I would also recommend realclearpolitics.com. They also have a running forecast model. I think they have Hillary Clinton winning a little bit more than 538 does. But they're really good with the polling and forecasting. There is another one. Ugh.
Yeah. Connor asked, I heard this third-party candidate who could take Utah. We already talked about him.
Evan McMullen.
Evan McMullen, and he's gonna pull votes from Trump.
He has
In a big way.
Right now he has a 13% chance of winning Utah. So
Yeah, based on these numbers, he's got 13% chance. Not very high.
which is more than Hillary. Hillary has a 3% chance.
That's true.
Gary Johnson has a 0.1% chance.
Oh, Gary.
But I will say that he is polling within 10 points of Trump.
So there you go. It's okay. Hi, Connor.
Any other sites? I'm trying to think. What other sites do I use? I mean, I would recommend, me personally, NBC.com, not MSNBC, but NBC.com, the news organization. They do a lot of good work.
I like Associated Press.
Associated Press. If you hate yourself, Politico.
Yeah. If you hate everybody else, Huffington Post.
Oh, if you want to find out who's on your ballots, ballotopedia.com.
Ballotopedia.
Ballotopedia.com they have all the races and all the ballots. That's how I found a lot of the stuff for my Iowa thing. And in fact, let me make sure it's Ballotopedia.
Yeah, he's gonna look that up. But yeah, do some research. Take some time. Take some time
Yeah,
tonight.
it's ballotpedia.com.
Oh, ballotpedia.com. PEDIA. So
And
ballot.
you can look up any congressional district, any state, any race.
That's right. Remember, 0.01% is what Tim got for his political run.
That's what I got. I got 75 votes. 75 people thought I was a good idea.
That's right.
They were wrong.
No, they were right. They were right. You would have been a good idea.
I would have.
Just need a little more time.
I mean, Ken would have been my. He would have been my secretary of.
I take it back.
Yeah.
Tim would have been a terrible idea.
He would have been my press secretary. That's what Ken wanted. Press secretary.
Bad for America. bad for Connecticut.
I was gonna put Keith in the cabinet somewhere too.
Oh, Keith, do you just want scandals? Is that
I
what this is?
do. I said I was gonna run this city into the ground, and I mean it. Damn it.
There's always a chance. I wish you best of luck.
So, all right, we'll go out on a couple of polling numbers. So right now, 538.com has Hillary Clinton winning 299 electoral votes. So a slim win, but still a win. Donald Trump's got 237. Evan McMullin has a chance of getting one if he wins Utah, maybe. And Gary Johnson is currently not winning any electoral votes.
Stein, not even on the list. I mean, she's on the list, but she's not getting it.
Stein's considered other at this point.
She is.
Currently, Hillary Clinton has a 69.8% chance of winning the election based on their polls only forecast. They have a few different forecasts, but
Yeah.
here we go. We'll go with the if the election were held right now forecast,
Which is 1 day away.
which is 1 day away. So a 70% chance, 70% even.
I love math.
And here are the states that 538 thinks you should watch out for. These are the states that have the highest point of tipping the election. Florida, this is the top. Wherever Florida goes, the election's going to go. There's an 18% chance of tipping the election. Florida, Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. Those 4 states, wherever they go, the country's going to go.
Go. I know we got some PA voters. Go vote, PA.
Yeah. They're forecasting a 1% chance of an electoral college deadlock where neither candidate gets 270. That's if like McMullin wins Utah and they split the rest.
It's so unlikely.
1% chance.
Yeah.
An electoral tie, 0.5% chance. So guess what? Tie's not going to happen.
Probably not. Probably not.
A recount in at least one state is a 9% chance. So Florida, North Carolina, Nevada, one of those 3 states, maybe.
James Carty thinks North Carolina is going to go Trump.
That's what I said. They'll go Trump. 51-49. That's what I think.
He's thinking that too. That'll be the one they wins by a slim margin.
Hillary Clinton has an 81% chance of winning the popular vote. So that's...
Yeah.
Trump has a 20% chance of winning the popular vote.
19, isn't it?
19.2.
Oh, okay, good.
And there's like a 1% variance because of Johnson and McMullin, so it
I don't
doesn't add up to 100.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a picture of the Connecticut ballot on 530 on the site for
Ballotspedia? No, there's no ballots, but they have all the races.
Yeah, so you can read.
You can look up, and they actually have research on all the candidates, so you can look up like polling and everything.
Yeah.
Let's see, a few more. Clinton has a 10% chance of winning the popular vote and losing the electoral college. So if Trump's math works out right, she'll win the popular vote, and I mean 10% is
a very slim, and also not likely at all with the way the map is looking.
There is a 0.3% chance that Gary Johnson will win at least one electoral vote.
Gary, you done screwed yourself. Please, I hope he gets 5%. I just want 5%. I want 5%. I want third party represented. That's
okay, and 2 more. Clinton majority in the popular vote where she wins at least 50%. There's a 30% chance of that. Like I said, Johnson and Stein are taking about 7% out of the election. So once again, there's not going to be...
there's not going to be over 50% most likely.
And there is a 6% chance of a Hillary Clinton landslide. So not very likely, but once again, she's going to get about 300. And there's only a 0.03% chance that the map will look exactly the same as it did in 2012.
Huh,
so states are going to be different. No matter what, states are going to go different
ways. It's going to be interesting. I mean, no matter what, it's going to be interesting to watch. And I hope that this was interesting to watch for you guys. I hope that, I mean, you guys stick around for those who are watching. I hope that, we were able to distract you slightly by telling you exactly about the things that nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
But if you want to know more about me, I'm performing this weekend at the Inner Circle Bazaar Magic Gathering of the Magi in Southbury, Connecticut. Where I'll be performing, I'll be lecturing.
Sounds like it's straight out of Harry Potter.
It is some crazy ass crap, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then also at the end of the month, the last Saturday in November, I'll be performing in Bayonne, New Jersey. My full evening show.
Bayo?
Not Scott Baio. Bayonne.
Oh, okay.
Even Bayonne doesn't want to deal with Scott Baio. But Bayonne, New Jersey, I'll be performing Magic Extravaganza, my full evening show, along with Doug Stafford also will be performing as well. It'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully I said his name right. Sorry if I didn't, Doug. It'll be a lot of fun, no matter what. So please come out, and you can find out all about this by following me on Facebook, following me on Twitter, Instagram, and greenwolfmagic.com. where I've got all my tour dates.
Ooh, fancy. It does sound like you're going to a D&D campaign. I'm just going to say that.
It does, true. Oh, also, I've been off for the last couple of weeks because I've been doing Six Flags, but I'll be back on with the Gingerosity podcast as well, which is not live video, although I might, who knows, maybe we should do a little.
This is pretty fun.
I do like it a little bit.
Where he's going to have me on talking about post-election results.
That's, you know what? I think that's what we'll do. So that'll be the Gingerosity podcast at thegingerosity.com. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much. And Tim?
I only do this. So, Speaking from the Center, you can find us on, obviously, Facebook, Speaking from the Center. I fucked that up. I have a whole thing that I go through and I fucked it up. Okay, facebook.com/Speaking from the Center.
You have one job.
I know. If you want to follow us on Twitter, @from_the_center. If you want to email us, the hate mail thing, speakingfromthecenter@gmail.com. If you want to support this show and you want to see more of this kind of thing with better video maybe, go to patreon.com/sftc and donate money. We'll support the show, pay for the show.
Yeah.
It's like $1 a month or whatever you think the show is worth kind of thing. It helps me out. The show's not free for me to do.
Yeah, podcasts cost us money, and sadly we're not making any money on these.
No, not at all.
Not even a little.
Let's see. Anything else? Oh, and go to Podomatic. That's my new server.
Podomatic.
Podomatic/Speaking from the Center. Just put in Speaking from the Center in their search bar, and rate and review the show. You can find it on iTunes. You can go on Stitcher and just type in Speaking from the Center. Please comment, rate, and review the show. The more you do that, the more people see me.
Mm-hmm.
The likes on Facebook help out a whole lot.
They do. Like Speaking from the Center. Take a second, click a like. It's not going to matter much for you guys, but for us, it does make a difference.
It means the world to me.
It does. See, there you go.
I like to know that I'm liked.
So,
I need to be liked.
I like you.
I like you too.
But we both hate Keith.
We do.
Fuck you, Keith.
And Ken, you should have been here.
Ken, you should have been here. We hate you now, too. So there it is.
I don't hate Ken. You just should have been here.
Oh, okay. Well, I live with Ken, so I'm allowed to hate him. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, go vote!
Go vote, goddammit.
Go vote, goddammit.
Or P. Diddy will find you.